started. Here. Okay, does everybody see my screen? Just wanting to make sure everybody could see what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So let's start today with figuring it's back to school season. We're doing a little bit of a back to basics for your marketing, and especially for things with myWeichert. So a lot of these things we've already gone over in the past.
Andrew, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the meeting being recorded, thing is right in the middle of the screen.
I believe you can click OK, or you can move that.
Okay, just for you. All right, thank you.
Let me know if it's still in the way. Just let me know. But I think you should be able to adjust that. Okay, so that's like I said, this is basically a back to basics kind of workshop today. And for some of you, it might be something new for you. Things that you might be learning for the first time. So we figured what better time to go over the basics than in September. So that's what we're doing here today. So what I have now, you're seeing, this is the dashboard page of myWeichert. And what we're going to start with is to let you know that the first thing you really should have set up for yourself will be your profiles. So there are two main websites that you really need to be maintaining, and we'll make sure that the profiles are set up correctly for both. The first would be for Weichert.com, right? That's not your own website. That's the one that's through, if a prospective client goes to Weichert.com and they'll see your information, you want to make sure that your name, your email, phone number, everything on that is correct. And the way that you do that is you go into your myWeichert. And on the very bottom left side, you're going to click on Weichert Tools. This is always a very good little link to click on, Weichert Tools. Always know where that is, right? Click on Weichert Tools. And then you'll see, and once it loads, you'll see a bunch of tabs open up. You're going to click on the one right here, the second one, My Profile. Right? So click on My Profile. This here is the information for the profile for Weichert, for Weichert.com. And what you're going to do is you're going to go through here and check to make sure that everything here is correct. Now, I'm going to show you this using my information, for example, right? So it's starting at the top with general information. Where it says name, there's a little drop down arrow to the right. So click on that arrow. If your name isn't already here, that's right. In this case, my name isn't showing up here, so I'm going to click, select my name, and then it'll appear right there. If there are things that you can't change, like middle initial, common name, suffix, I can't make any changes to those. I do want to show you that at the top here it says to update anything that you can't edit. That's very important. So if you can't edit any of this information, you can't change it, but you need to make a change to it, that's where it tells you to contact the licensing department. So that's very important, because as you scroll, you can see right here, it says contact the licensing department, and they give you the email to the right over here, right? That's a very important step, because when you scroll down, if you find anything in here, like let's say your phone numbers, if you notice your phone numbers down here are incorrect, just send licensing an email and let them know, and then they'll walk you through. They'll address that. They'll resolve that for you. Just make sure you go through each of these sections. So that we just did the general information, then you go through the office information. Where it says title, you'll just select the drop-down arrow and select the appropriate title. For the most part, you'll be clicking on sales representative, unless you're a broker, in which case you'll be doing broker sales representative, right? Or manager. You can click on whatever one. I'll click on sales rep just to show you. We'll scroll down a little bit here. The MLS information, for instance, that you may already have that automatically populating for yourself. If it's not there or if it's incorrect, again, you just go right back to the licensing department and ask them to make that change. And it's the same thing again with your phone number. So you'll have a fax number, a mobile number, a cell number. If that's incorrect, just ask licensing to change that. It's very important to make sure that you have your correct phone numbers in there, right? If you did, and it's the same thing also with your email addresses at the bottom here. So if I think they can have up to 2, I have 2 emails in here. You could add more emails. I want to show you this. To the right, you'll see next to the phone numbers and next to your email addresses, it says project. Now, what that means is if you wanted to make a listing presentation, you want these numbers automatically to populate to be cloned onto all the separate pages for your listing presentation. So that way you don't have to keep typing it in every single time, right? And that way the correct number, the correct email address gets put into your listing presentation. So for instance, if I want this is my cell phone number, if I wanted my cell phone number to be populated onto all the pages in the listing presentation, on the right-hand side here, where it says project, I would just click on project, make that gray button turn green. The same thing in the email address down below here. If I wanted this one up here to be the email address that I use on the listing presentation, I would click on project to the right, turn that green. If I wanted to add a different phone number for the listing presentation, I can click on this add additional button over here, and I could add another mobile number. So I can type in any old number, 555, whatever, right? And I could always turn that, maybe I want that number instead to be what's going to show up in my listing presentation. At the same time, if I turn, oh, that's the wrong number, I don't want that there, I could always just click on this little red X and it deletes that. Just always make sure that one of these here is selected as green, whichever one that you want to be as a listing presentation, because that is, that's key, right? You want to make sure that when you're going on your listing presentations, that all of your information in those presentations is correct, right? So just make sure that you go through all this information here. Again, if the phone numbers are wrong or if they're just not there, contact licensing. But if it is the correct number, right, you just click on project. If it is the correct email, just click on project next to the one you want to use. These numbers and these emails also will show up on the myWeichert.com website. Also down here, website, right? You can type in, if you have a website like your myWeichert website, for instance, you could put your myWeichert URL in here. So for the most part, for everybody, it'll be your first name, last name, .weichert.com. All right, so that will be your website. You could type that into that spot right there. And then your home information again at the bottom here. If this is something incorrect, just let licensing know. If you speak another language other than English, you can put that in here as well. Very important, make sure you click save when you're done. There's at the bottom right here, you can click on the green check mark, or also at the very top. Just click on save. If you don't click save, none of this gets changed. In my case, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to leave the page, but definitely make sure any changes you make, you click on save. Very important. Again, this is primarily for the myWeichert.com profile. And there's the other thing, which of course is your own website. So I'm using an agent's website here. This is an agent from the Secret office, and this is her myWeichert website, right? So in order to get the information from this website, as you see in the middle here, where she gets to get to know you, the about me and her credentials, background, education, and experience. In order to put this stuff on the website, you have to go into myWeichert. You have to go into the myWeichert system and then go back into the very top. So before we went to Weichert Tools down here, now at this point, we're going to go into the other side of the page, the top right corner of the page, where it says your name. It'll have your first name right there. All right, just click on that button where your name is. Scroll down a little bit to where it says My Profile. That's the settings for your profile for your myWeichert page. This is important because the changes you'll make here will reflect on your website here. So once this loads, you'll see this page open up, and you're going to want to edit this. So you click on the blue Edit Profile button right at the top here. Click on that, and now you can make changes to all this information. Now, depending on whether or not you may already have some of these fields already filled out. You may not have, if you're new, you may not have these fields filled out. You can just go through each of these separately. So take a look, make sure your first name and last name are in here and they're correct. And then underneath it, your job title. So you could write down sales representative or sales associate for this. I'm putting marketing technology specialist here. You would be putting your title there instead. Also very important would be to the right here, as agents, you have MLS IDs, type in your MLS, find your MLS ID and put that in there. So for instance, many of you on the call here probably have Flex, right? Flex MLS, you'd put your Flex MLS ID. Okay, so that's very important. That's really also important. So that way, if you put your MLS information in there, you'll get more access to the listings over here on the left-hand side. So it's good to have your MLS information in there. Scroll down now. This is very important for the website. contact info on the left-hand side. Make sure the phone numbers are here correct, right? So your cell phone number, type in or make sure that the number here is correct, type in your correct phone number. And then make sure you click on this box to the right, this checkbox, show on site. And that is what will let you, when you click on that, if you scroll all the way down, that's how the agent's cell phone number gets populated onto the website. You need to put that information in here. You definitely need to click on that little show on site button. You can include your work phone number, that's the office number. You can include that as well. And you can put that there. If you don't want, I'll put that in. I'll put 974,000 and click on show on site again. If you don't want a direct line, you could leave that blank. Whatever gets checked is what shows up on your website. All right? So those are the phone numbers, and below that is your email. So then just make sure you put your email address in, your myWeichert.com email address in here. So that go there, and then you keep going down, you'll see this. Your website information automatically should be populated here. But again, it should be your first name hyphen last name.weichert.com. If you had another personal website, you could put that there as well. But for the most part, we're just going to be focusing on your myWeichert website. The lender, that is your financial, your office's financial mortgage rep. You can just click on that field and you'll see at least one person, depending on who you have in your office. I'll just click on the first person I see there. All right, and then you select that is your mortgage rep. And then you can click on designations below, and this will be, and we'll skip the designations for a moment. I'm going to go over to position on the right-hand side here. Position, this is your title. So like you can scroll down, look for sales associate, or if you're a broker, you can do broker, broker, salesperson, broker, associate, whatever your title is. So we'll say sales associate for now. If you speak any of the languages other than English, you could put that in here. If you speak Spanish, for instance, you could put that in here. In English, right? And you'll see that when you click on these, the little gray section will show up right beneath it. So if you wanted to take that out, you simply click on the X, and that deletes what was put in there. Your license number, this is your real estate license number, so make sure you put that in there. And then importantly, above all of this, this is the social media section. For the time being, we're going to focus on Facebook, right? Because that's the most important one of all of these, right? I think all of you probably already have one. If not all of you, everyone here should have a Facebook business page. If you don't already have one set up, make an appointment with your NPS. They'll help you do so. It's incredibly important to have a Facebook business page set up and one available to use. So when you do have one available, ready to go, you're going to want to put the URL for that business page and make sure it's your business page, your Facebook business page. You're going to want to put the URL right in here. So I have one open, for instance. Let me see where I can access that. So I thought I had it open. Let me see if I can just, yeah, I did. Here we go. This is my Facebook business page, a very basic one, but the very top, most importantly, all you have to do is grab the URL where it says, like google.com, weichert.com, that's the URL section of a website. So when we say grab the URL, we simply mean highlight it like this, highlight the whole thing, and you could copy it. So you could either right click, hit copy, or you can highlight and you can click on, for a PC, you would click Control-C, Control and the letter C as in cat. With Mac, it's Command, hit the Command button and the letter C as in cat. Any of those techniques copies that URL. And then you're gonna go back, into myWeichert, and in the field here at the top that says Facebook URL, you're going to paste. So you can right click in that spot and you can hit paste. And then that URL from your business page will get populated there. You also can click, on this spot here and click Control and the letter V as in Victor, or for a Mac, Command and the letter V as in Victor. All do the same thing. It pastes that information. That's important because then on your myWeichert website, the Facebook link will get put down here in the bottom. This agent doesn't have one, so that's one thing she'll want to have. If she did have one here, this F in Facebook would be blue. All right, so that's a good thing to have. So any of these here, if you have the URL for any of these other social media sites, they work similarly, a little differently than grabbing the one for Facebook, but in a very similar way. If you want to have some more information about that for the scope of this meeting here, for this workshop, I'm just going to focus on Facebook business page. But if you wanted to have any help doing anything for Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., then just again schedule a one-on-one with your MTS, and we'll definitely help you with that. All right, so let's just scroll down. So this is all the information, the basic information, your basic contact information for your website. But now you want to get into some more of the meat and potatoes of the landing page of your site. When I say landing page, I mean like when somebody goes to your website itself, they land directly here. This is the page they see, and in the middle, this is again the about me and credentials, background, education, and experience part. You want to have this get to know me section filled out, because when somebody goes to your website, if this isn't filled out, it just doesn't look professional, it doesn't look right. And besides, this is like a chance for you as an agent really to highlight yourself real quickly to any prospective client. And it's very easy to do. All you have to do is go into the settings here, and then in the about me section, just put in a little blurb about yourself. A little bit about who you are, maybe your hobbies, and then put in something also about real estate related. And this is I just took all the information I saw from Iris's site here, and I just copied and pasted and put that directly into the fields here. So this is something that isn't my about me, but I just wanted to show that this is what agents can use. This is an about me section. And also, if you scroll below, this is where credentials, background, education, and experience. These are all directly used by an agent at Weichert. And then same thing here, credentials, right? Background, education, experience. It's simply a matter of typing in whatever you want for those particular fields, right? So whatever your credentials are, you can type them in. Your background, right? In this case, she's a music teacher, right? Her education, where she got her BA. Her credentials are real estate related, so she puts her real estate credentials in here. And her experience, she's putting in that she's a Monmouth County resident for the past 30 years, right? And these are the primary bits of information that you want here. So that way, when somebody clicks on any of these little buttons here, something shows up, right? You don't want any of these to be blank. And that's why that's very important to make sure that you go into your settings and you fill these out. There's no wrong way to do this. You can, you'll yourself, what information to put in. So again, it's very simple. You just go to this and just type in whatever you want to put in. Right. So that's how you start to fill out the landing page, the main page of your website. A lot of this already is set up for you, but the middle portion here is what you need to do as an agent. You definitely need, because it's right smack in the middle of the page. So very important to do that. Very easy too, easy, but important. So just take a couple of moments, when you get a chance, jot down some ideas, brainstorm some ideas about yourself. Think of a little about me that you could put in, a little blurb, and think of some of your credentials, background, etc. This is kind of like your bio. In fact, that's generally exactly what it is, right? It's your bio, it's your little resume that you're putting onto your website. One other thing on the settings page here, right in the middle, right, below the About Me section and above the credentials and background section here is the signature. This means the email signature. Now, this doesn't show up on your page here. This signature is for any of your email communications that go out when you use myWeichert. So for instance, if you were to send out an email to one person, if you have a signature here, this signature will automatically get populated to that particular contact, right? If you send it out to 50 people, it will go out to all 50 people. If you send it out to 5,000 people at once, this signature will go out to everyone. You don't want to have to keep typing your signature every single time you write an email. So you want this information here to be correct, and you want to put it in, and it's one of those set it and forget it kind of things. So I know we've gone over this before in previous workshops, but let's just go over it real quickly again, how to get this information here to kind of look like to have it be standardized, and also to have the we do it all guarantee. Very important. Let me show you how you can access this. So go back into KB Core, and you can go at the bottom here, you're going to click on Weichert Tools. I already have the page open here. So when you click on Weichert Tools, it should open up a new window. And this time, you're going to scroll down a little bit until you find the tab that says Marketing Resources. Click on Marketing Resources, and you're going to look for the one that says We Do It All Guaranteed Email Signature. Click on that link. Now, depending on what browser you use, either the file will open up automatically, or it might show up in your downloads. In my case here, it showed up in downloads, so I just have to open it. I'm using Edge for the moment. Okay, so then it opens up here. This is through a PC. When this opens up, you're going to see in the folder, you're going to see a couple of different files here. You want the one that says number 1, We Do It All company signature. This one right here, number 1. This Word document right here. If you click on that, that's going to open up a Word document. You'll see it open up. And then if you get this here, I want to show you at the top in the Word document, if you see this, like this yellow tab, this protected view, etc., make sure to click on Enable Editing. It's very important for what we're going to do. You have to click on Enable Editing. Click on that button. And then what we're going to do is we're going to save this. We're going to start at the bottom. We're going to save this picture right here. So just, you can right click on the picture, or click on it, right click it. And when you right click, this little window shows up. You're going to look for the button here, the link here that says Save As Picture. It's going to look a little different on a Mac, but it's the same idea. You'll get one that says Save Image or Save Picture. So click on Save As Picture, and then you're going to save that somewhere on your computer. You can name it. I'll put it into my Pictures folder, and I'll call it, We Do. I have a few versions of it, so I'm going to call it number 2. You can just leave everything as is and just hit save. So you want to make sure you save this little picture to your computer. And then at the top, everything from the top, from the name, so in this case, the default is Jane Smith, the generic Jane Smith, right? You're going to select, just using your mouse, just highlight, select all of this information right here, from Jane Smith down to Weichert.com, and then copy this. Again, you can just right click and hit copy. When that copies, then you're going to go right back into myWeichert. Now, what you do is, I already have my signature in here, so I'm going to, imagine if I right click in here and I hit paste. If I go into the signature portion in the profile, if I hit right click and paste it, this information will show up with Jane Smith, right? So you just have to go through that and type in your name. Underneath it, you would put in your title. So, for you might type in, sales, and then put in your office. Type in your office underneath that, and then underneath that section will be your phone number. So the office phone number, put in your office phone number here. And then your cell number, put your cell phone number underneath that. And then, of course, then your email underneath that. So it's just a matter of just changing the information from the generic Jane Smith over to you. You can leave everything else. I do want to show you how you can add the pictures. Let me just delete the photo there. So once you put all of this in here and you change it with, to have your information at the very bottom, make sure you hit enter enough times to make sure that you have a blank cursor. Maybe we'll put it right here. You have a blank cursor blinking at the very bottom of all this. When you see that cursor blinking, you're going to click on this icon to the top right. It looks like a little picture frame. You're going to click on that. That's the insert image picture icon, right? If you click on that, it's going to give you the option to upload a picture. So we're going to upload that We Do It All picture that we just saved from the Word document. The way to do that is you click on Upload. Then you click on the button here, browse for an image. And you can also just drag the image, but I always just click on the button. You're going to find the folder where you saved the picture. So I have it saved in pictures, and you just look for it. Scroll down till you find it. And it's this one right here. I know it's showing up in black, but it'll work in a moment. If you click on the picture, hit open. You will notice one thing. I want to show you this here. The area that says width and height, change the number here to 200. All you gotta do is type in 200. Just type that in and then hit save. By changing that number, you kept the dimensions of the picture in your signature looking correct, right? It looks proportional to everything else in here, and that's how you put the picture into your signature. And this here is very important because A, it looks professional. B, it's standardized with all the Weichert information, and it also has the "We Do It All" guarantee in there. So this is the kind of thing that you can do pretty quickly. It just takes it takes a couple of minutes to do once. You set it, and you never have to worry about it again. It's important to know where to get this information. So again, I went to Weichert Tools. From Weichert Tools, I went to the tab that says Marketing Resources. And then from there, I went to the link that says "We Do It All" guaranteed email signature. And that allowed me to copy and paste this information. I changed the information and was able to save the picture to my computer, and then I was able to upload the picture to the signature. If any of you are trying to do this and you have any problems, you encounter any problems, any difficulty, contact your MTS. We'll ensure that you get this set up, because this is extremely important. Having your signature put in correctly is fundamental. Because, and this is the next section I want to go over, one of the main keys to myWeichert is marketing yourself through, say, emails, right? You want to communicate with your contacts. So in this case, we're going to assume that your myWeichert already has some contacts listed in it. Whether you have 50 names, 50 contacts in your myWeichert, or if you have 5,000 or 50,000 names in your contacts, it doesn't matter. As long as you have some names in your CRM, we're going to work off that assumption. So if you already have contacts listed in your smart CRM, you then want to send out some informative materials to those people, right? Some emails, especially good for branding and for getting your name out there. Weichert pays for myWeichert, right? They're already giving you access to it. So you could look at this and say, this is a way to advertise, to market and brand myself for free, because you don't have to pay for this, right? Because it's already something that that Weichert is a resource they're sharing with you, right? So take advantage of that. Use myWeichert now. Use its mass emailing features to brand yourself. And the way to do that is I'll show it here. The easiest way is to use the scheduler of a mass email. So what you do is you go over on the left-hand side, you're gonna click on marketing. This is a very important link right here, marketing. Just click right on that. And this page will open up here, the marketing page. Scroll down a little bit until you find the tab that says scheduled mass emails. All right, so we're gonna click on the Get Started button below. I want to go over with you right now 3 different kinds of scheduler mass emails that you can send out. Now, these aren't just what I'm talking to you now. These aren't in the abstract, right? You could actually, watch what I do now, and you can take time right afterward just to send these, to schedule these 3 to go out right away. These are 3 that you can actually use. Very easy to do. It's the kind of thing you could do within minutes. And I'm not exaggerating. You could do all these things within a matter of like 10 minutes. So we're going to schedule out, let's schedule out, since today is the 16th, let's schedule 3 emails, 2 newsletters, 1 of a recently listed email. We're going to send out 3 different emails, or I should say schedule 3 different emails for the remaining 3 weeks of September. Here's how you do that. In the top right, you may have to move us. I know with Zoom, sometimes we might be in the way. If our pictures are in the way, just minimize us, or you could drag us out of the way, because it's important to see this green button here, right? It says schedule email. So that's the thing you're going to click on. Click on schedule email. When you do that, you're going to get this window appearing here, right? Let's go through all this, go through the steps, what you have to do. Start in the top left, send email to. I recommend, since this is really for branding purposes and basic marketing purposes, just go to the third button. This one right here that says send to contacts with status, and click on that button. And then once you have that button clicked on, sometimes depending on your browser, I'm using Edge, so it shows up as gray. If you're using Chrome, it shows up in blue. Just make sure that that button is selected, and then click on the field below, and you'll see this drop-down menu appear. So then here it gives you all different statuses, everything from sphere to closed. These are all, this represents all of the contacts you have in your CRM. Select all of them. You have to do one at a time. You just click on each one. Click on sphere, and then go back, click on the field again, click on prospect, and just do all of them. Click on every single one of these. Contract and closed. If you select, these 7 statuses here, all of your people, all of your contacts within your CRM will have at least, will have one of these, they'll have one of these statuses assigned to them, right? So just by clicking those 7 buttons right here, I've made it so that this email will go out to everybody in my CRM. So again, if I had 50 people, all 50 people would be encompassed, right, by these 7 buttons here. If I had 50,000 people in my CRM, like if I had a lot of prospects, right, if I were prospecting and farming, all 50,000 plus people would be encompassed by these 7 buttons right there. It's that simple to set it up. You don't have to do any more. Just do that. It's really nice. Your scope, just leave that be. You'll have your name, just leave that as is. The third box to the right here, when to send. This is what's very nice about the scheduler, because you can send it out right away, or you can schedule things out in advance. So for instance, I'm going to send this one out tomorrow, the 17th. What you do is you click on the date. You have to just click on the date there, and it's going to pull up a little calendar window here. And you can just choose, just hover over the date that you want. And we'll click on the 17th, and it'll say the date at the top. So for this is going to go for September 17th, and then you click on OK. And you see the change the date. Very importantly, make sure you change the time below it, because by default, it's going to say 12 a.m. You don't want these emails to start going out to people at midnight, right? Because a lot of people will have their email notifications on their phone. You don't want their, and when they get notified of emails, it might bing or whatever. You don't want that happening for people late at, very, very late at night, right? So make sure you change that setting. Hit the arrow to the right. Little drop down window will appear, and make sure it's something more appropriate. So we'll say instead of 12 a.m., we'll say 12 p.m., right? So this email that we're going to send out will go out tomorrow at 12 noon tomorrow. And here's where you can select, you're going to load the template. You're going to load the email. What email are you going to select? In the spot here that says templates, there's the blank field below it. Click on that blank field, and you can type in what you're looking for. The best ones are those that are made by Weichert's marketing department. They make some very, very great newsletters to send out. So what you want to do to access those newsletters, I would recommend for people you could either type in the word newsletter, or you could type in the word marketing. Either way will get you there. If I type in the word marketing, for instance, that will show me all the different templates that Weichert marketing's department has made. If you scroll down, you'll even see, you'll see, it'll say Weichert-marketing. That that these here are all made by the marketing department. Looking for the one that says Weichert Marketing Newsletter, Weichert Marketing Newsletter. There are a bunch of them here. We're gonna look for the most recent one. I believe it is September 9th. So it'll say Weichert Marketing Newsletter September 9th. Scrolling down, there it is. This one right here. You could also choose any of these other ones if you want, as long as it's not, it just makes sure that it's something that's not seasonal, or that goes along with the current, the current season. So if you're, in other words, don't send out something right now for Easter, right? But here we're going to click on September 9th, and you see once I click on that, the subject here automatically gets populated. It's about roof pre-inspection. So this is the kind of email that you can also send out really, any time of the year. This is not a seasonal specific kind of email. And this is all made for you by the marketing department. It's all set up, right? Has the information, it says hello, et cetera, et cetera. It gives you some ideas about what to do, what homeowners should do, or prospective homeowners should do for and buyers should do for inspecting a roof, right? And then why that's important. It's like a little blog post. These newsletters are basically email versions of blog posts. And those are great because people like them. They're informative, they're unobtrusive, right? They're inoffensive. They give people what they want to see, right? They like to click on blog posts. And that's what these emails are, these newsletters are. This is all set for you. You don't have to change any of this. It's all made for you. Even in the bottom part here, you notice in brackets, it says agent first name, agent last name, et cetera, et cetera. All of your information, your contact information automatically gets populated here. You don't have to put in anything, nothing. Even the bottom portion here has the logos here, the little equal housing opportunity house here, the disclaimer, even the unsubscribe URL at the bottom, everything. It's great. This is all set up for you ahead of time. All you have to do is see if you have everything selected at the top, you have it selected down here, all you got to do is click the blue schedule button at the very bottom left. That's done. And you'll see it load right in here, right on top. What's great about the scheduler is it will show you all of the emails that you have previously sent. So you can kind of keep an eye on all of your engagement, all of your email engagement as they go along. You'll know what you have sent out previously. Once an email gets sent, you'll see the little green check mark show up next to it. If it hasn't yet been sent, there'll be no check mark. So that's why over here, this top one, there's no green check mark. It'll also show you the estimated number of contacts it's going to go out to, right? If you wanted to edit this at any point, if for some reason, maybe you say, you know what, I don't want to send out this, I'm thinking I want to send out a different newsletter. You always can change it by clicking on edit. And that simply brings you right back to what we had here. And you could always just, you could delete this, put a new one in, whatever you wanted to do. That's what's also nice about the schedule because it gives you a peace of mind, right? That way, it hasn't yet gone out. If you ever wanted to make an adjustment to the email, you still have time to do so. So while we're at it, I'm just going to get out of this. I'm going to leave it for the time being. Let's add 2 more emails. Cool. This is all good practice to keep doing this because again, this here, scheduling emails on a weekly basis, this is fundamental to your business, right? It's fundamental to your branding. And it's easy. It's easy and it's free. You don't have to worry about that. Again, I'm assuming that you already have names in your CRM, but if you wanted to get more names into your contact list, if you wanted to prospect out to people, which is what's a great thing that the scheduler offers you. Again, schedule time to meet with your MTS, and we'll show you how to utilize Cole Realty, the database that you could find geographically. You could find emails using that, and that's how you can get these contacts into your system. So let's go to the green button here again at the top, schedule email. One more time on the left-hand side, send email to. Click on the button, select everyone, every single name here. Might as well. These just don't even think about who it's going to get. It's everyone. Everyone's going to get this. Leave this thing in the middle. Just leave that as is. On the right-hand side, click on the date. We know we're sending one out on the 17th, so let's send one out 1 week later on the 24th. Hit OK. Time, we're going to change that again from midnight into, I don't know, we'll do 1 p.m. And then we go to the templates. Click on the field here. And this time I'm going, now depending on your office, the way that how the template scheme, the template architecture is put together, this is how if I type in, for instance, if I type in the word Seeger, you'll notice if I scroll down a little bit, there'll be one that'll say marketing. This is the one we're going to click on right here, the right market experience and expertise. It's from September of 2021. Type in your office name or the abbreviation for your office name, depending on how your MTS has it set up. So maybe for me, I just have the offices type in their actual office name, Seeger, Point Pleasant, etc. Right? Once you see it, once you type that in, you'll see, if you scroll down, you'll see one that says the right market experience and expertise. So click on that. And then this again is all set up for you. The subject automatically gets populated here. The right market experience and expertise can help you price your home correctly. So this is another informative email that can be sent out to people. And then what you see here, you see that we do it all guaranteed picture here, right? And then below it says hello. And in brackets, it'll say first name. So every first name of every contact you have automatically will get populated here. You don't have to write any, you don't have to keep putting in their first name each time. Just put it, just leave it as is. Their first name automatically gets put there. That's called a merge field, a merge tag. Very nice to use those. And then again, this is sort of like a tiny little blog post, different ways to help price your home correctly. Five different ways. You'll notice that blog posts often have like 3 ways to do this or 5 to 7 ways to do that, right? And that's what this kind of email is. And again, at the very bottom, agent signature. This little bracket here, this is agent signature, will encompass everything that you put in earlier when we were working in the profile. Remember when we were working in the profile, we were putting in the signature. All of that will appear here because we are putting that in the brackets there. So you don't have to do anything, nothing. I have the logo here, the disclaimer, and the unsubscribe URL. This is completely set for you. All you have to do is click the schedule button down the bottom left, like that. Just like that, we've gotten 2 weeks worth of emails sent out. And I'm doing this as I'm speaking to you, but you could do this within like less than 10 minutes even. There's one other email I want to show you, and this is one where that's specific to any recently listed listing from myWeichert. So if your office has a new listing and you want to market that, whether it's your listing or not, you can market a myWeichert listing. If it's your listing, it's easy enough to do. It's your listing. But if you're not the listing agent, all you have to do is it's good form to get that listing agent's permission first, right? But if you get that listing agent's permission, then just know what the address is, know the MLS number. Fine. If you already have the MLS number for that particular listing, then that's really all you need in order to send out an email marketing that particular listing. Let me show you how to do it. I'm going to show you actually a way that you could do it and you can proof it. You can see what it's going to look like. So you click on Smart CRM here. This is where all of your contacts are. Click on Smart CRM and your name already should be in the system. But if it's not, you would just add it by clicking on the green add contact button over here and then just following, putting your information in the correct fields here and hitting add contact below. But I'm going to work off the assumption that most of you already have your name listed in here, right? So you just type in your name, click on the magnifying glass or hit enter, and it will search for you. And your name should appear. Mine's all the way at the bottom here. You click on your name. And then on the left-hand side, you'll see the email. That's the email to which this email will be sent. And over on the right-hand side, you'll see these buttons. The one that says send email. We're gonna click on that one, send email. This looks a little bit like the scheduler. It works in a similar way, but this isn't scheduling the email yet. We're just going to send this to one person. So you're saying this to yourself, right? So you don't have to do anything with the CC or BCC, that's already done. So just go straight to template. And in template, click on where it says select, type in the word marketing. And again, if you look for this is also something created by the marketing department. If you scroll down, you'll see the myWeichert marketing. They're all in alphabetical order. So you keep scrolling until you get to the R's. Look for one that says recently listed. There it is, myWeichert marketing recently listed. Click on that one. And you'll see to the right, it automatically puts in the subject to check out this new listing. You could change that subject if you want. Now you can change the wording of that subject if you like. Most importantly would be to put in an MLS ID. So I actually have one that I had saved. This is a currently listed new listed listing. So you type. So again, if you know the MLS ID already, if it's your own if it's your own listing, put it on in there. If it's not your listing, but it's another myWeichert agent's listing, get their permission, and you can, you can put that right on in here. Once you type in the MLS number, the address will show up below it. Hover over it until it's blue and click on it. And you'll know that it's selected because it'll turn into like a little gray box around there. If you scroll down, you'll see the template. It's going to have a lot of these brackets in here. So it'll say recently listed, see this new listing in your area, and then it'll have listing image, listing address, right? What this will do is it will pull the information directly from the MLS listing. So where it says listing image, the image that is the main image on the MLS listing will show up here. The address will populate here. The listing price, the number of beds, baths, the square feet, even the description, the public remarks will show up there. You don't have to change anything. It all gets pulled directly from the MLS. That's why it's so important to have the correct MLS number in there. To see if this is all working correctly, this is why I recommend that you first test it this way here, going through the CRM. You don't do anything else again. Your name, everything automatically gets put right there. All you have to do is hit the green send button below. And I'm going to show you, I did this one earlier. If I click on this, this is going into my Gmail account. This is what that email looks like. So it populated the picture where it said listing, listing photo, right? And then took the listing address, populated the address, the price, beds, baths, square feet, and the public remarks. Put that all right on in there. This is ready to go. This got sent to me, and then my name below here, right? So this got sent to me. So if I had this scheduled out to 500 contacts, this is the email they'll see, right? So now knowing that this works, this is kind of like an ad proof. I proofed that template. I'm going to go back into KV Core, back into myWeichert, and we're going to go over to marketing. Remember, we're going to go back into the schedule. So you click on marketing here, scroll down, scheduled mass emails, get started. Click on that green button again at the top. You'll notice we have those two, one for the 17th, one for the 24th. We're going to schedule one now for the last week of September. Click on schedule email. Third button. Again, this is the kind of email that can go out to everybody. So I'm not even going to concern myself with who's getting this. Everyone's going to get it. And on the right-hand side here, the date, well, choose the 30th. I'll say September 30th. Hit OK. And the time, we're going to make that one, we'll also say 1 p.m. In the template spot here, again, I'm going to type in the word marketing. I'm going to scroll down until we find the one that says recently listed. Recently listed. The subject shows up right here. I could change that if I wanted to, but for testing purposes right now, I'm just going to leave it as is. The MLS ID, I had to type that in one more time. So that's why it's very important to have that ID. I'm going to just paste it right there. Once I type that number in, the address shows up below. It's very important that you click the address. This is ready to go. All I have to do now is hit schedule. Within 10 to 15 minutes, you can do an entire month's worth of emails scheduled out in your, for all of your contacts, all of your sphere of influence, your leads, your current clients, your prospects, everyone. You can schedule out. We have some holiday emails that you could schedule out. You could schedule all of these blog posts, these newsletters, holiday emails. You could do an entire month's worth within 20 minutes. So if you find a day, early in the month, you have, half an hour or a little bit less than that to work on something, you can do this. And you can know that all this stuff gets set up ahead of time. You have all this stuff done. All of this is branding. You've just done, if you do this, you do all of your branding. It's amazing. The scheduler is an incredible tool to use. This is the kind of thing that you also can use, and this is something else we'll show at a different time, but you can then see all the different people who are clicking on these emails. Because you might be surprised to know that, there are a lot of people are getting these. A lot of people do receive them and actually do click on them and look at them. And it's the kind of thing that for the next step, this is the first step. It really is, you're sending out informative, unobtrusive emails that people click on. And it's good for branding, good for getting some information out there. the next step would be then to think of something like reaching out to the prospects in a more for market reports or search alerts, right? So these are different strategies to use, but this here, scheduling out branding-based emails, newsletters on a regular monthly basis, I really can't emphasize how important and how fundamental it is to use, and it's all free because Weichert already is offering you these services, right? So again, if any of you want some more information about how to get the names here, how to get a lot of contacts, that's a different step that involves using Call Realty Resource. Again, another system, another site resource that Weichert pays for and offers you. So if you want to do that, schedule some time with your some one-on-one time with your MTS, and they'll all help you out. So that's the mass scheduler, how to use the mass scheduler email button in marketing. And with that, I will turn it over to Sharon. I'm going to stop my share here.
Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Hi, welcome. Great job, Andrew. That was a great explanation of how to quickly throw out some mass emails to get some contacts reached right away, to get some leads into the system. Just remember, everybody, make sure you're following up with those that come on your dashboard, because you don't want them just sitting there. You actually need to respond to them if they're actually populating here on your board. You have to call them and let them, follow up with them. I'm actually going to cover the basics of hashtags today, because one of the most common questions that are asked by agents are, what are hashtags? And you hear this from a lot of newer agents. Hashtags are myWeichert's version of labels within the Smart CRM. And as you can see, the Smart CRM is on your left. They are used to organize your contacts, your contact list for quick filtering and communication, and triggering one or more additional actions within the myWeichert, and much more. Today, I'm going to show you how to add a hashtag from your Smart CRM. So we're going to go right to the Smart CRM. And I'm also going to show you how to add a hashtag within the actual individual contact.
Sharon, I just want to let you, I think I'm seeing just to let you know, I'm seeing an Excel spreadsheet open on my screen.
That's weird, because I am, really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I am too, Sharon.
Mine too.
Yeah, it shows all the new agents.
Oh, sorry, guys. Hold on. I sincerely apologize. I will try sharing the screen again. What about now?
There you go. There you go.
I sincerely apologize, everyone. Now that everybody knows my new agents. So anyway, we were talking about the Smart CRM. So I'm actually in the CRM itself. So one of the things I was mentioning is I'm going to show you how to add within the CRM itself, and also from this point in actuality. So if you notice underneath here, let me look at these names. See these hashtags that are assigned here? These are actual hashtags that are assigned to contacts within the Smart CRM. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually search for my own name. So I just type in my name up here, and I click on the search bar. And it's going to search for me. I have a couple tester names in here. I'm going to use this one, for example. So right here, I actually do not have a hashtag. So if I put a check mark, now this is doing it from the CRM itself, not within opening up the contact. If you put a check mark here next to the person's name that does not have a hashtag, you can scroll up to the top under more actions, click the down arrow, and I could add a hashtag right from here. So I could just put in, I'm going to put in tester 2. That's what I'm going to call it. And underneath, you're going to see, you see where it's actually typed. You have to select it. So I'm going to click on the blue See where it says over here, press enter? You click on this, and as Andrew said before, it turns gray with a checkbox. That means that you've actually tagged the hashtag to that contact name. Then what you're going to do is you're going to click the green box down here to update the tag. So notice it didn't change here yet. It just populated. Sometimes if it doesn't populate under here, you have to hit your refresh button up here at the top of your page. But notice it dropped down underneath. That's how you add a hashtag from the actual CRM from outside of the individual contact. Now, if I click on my name, I'm going to delete this hashtag. Over here, we've opened up the actual contact record, which you can see the information. You have the timeline over here. And on the left-hand side, you see this box that says hashtag here? This is another optional place to just type it right in here. You do not need to add the actual hashtag like that. It automatically drops it in as a hashtag. And remember, a hashtag is just a label, so you don't want to actually add the hashtag icon. So just put in whatever hashtag you want, find it down below from the drop-down menu, select it, and it drops it back in here. That's how you add a hashtag from the actual contact name itself. Now, there's no limit on how many hashtags, or as you call them, labels, that are able to create within the myWeichert account, or how many you can apply to an individual contact. So I could add multiple ones here. I could do another one, tester one, select that one. So I could add multiple hashtags. And the reason you do that is so that you can categorize your contacts based on whether they're a warm lead, a cold lead. Like Buffini style is A, B, and C. So it's your hot lead is A, your B is a warm lead, your C is a cold lead. It depends how you're putting your hashtags in and how you're going to categorize them and follow up with them. These are super, super important. So if you have somebody, for example, that might be a waterfront property that's looking for waterfront homes, you could type in the word waterfront here, add a hashtag, and then later on, you can do a search just on waterfront properties that you might want to send in a search alert to this person. So that's why we use hashtags. Now, the other thing I was going to tell you is we can also delete. One of the questions that came up recently is somebody had asked me, oh gee, I loaded in this farm and I put in the wrong hashtag. Well, you can actually do a full removal of hashtags from using the hashtag management tab. So I'm going to actually close out of this contact, and I am going to show you how to do this. We are going to go over here to marketing and click on all marketing. And we're going to scroll down to the bottom and see right here where it says hashtag management. We're going to view hashtags. So under here, you know that I just typed in tester. So we're going to put in tester one as my sample. That's the one I want to remove from all my names, all my contact names within the CRM that have this hashtag that I accidentally applied to my entire farm. I want to remove it. All you have to do is hit the checkbox here to check it and click delete, and it's gone forever. All your hashtags will be removed from those contacts. You can, and then at that point, you cannot add in bulk, but you can remove in a mass delete. But you cannot add as a mass entry. You cannot do it that way. You have to go into each individual contact at that point, but you can do a mass delete. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you is we can merge hashtags. So we can actually, let me show you here. I'm going to actually filter so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to go, let me show you how you do this. You go to the filter button here at the top in your Smart CRM. and you go down to contact details, and you go down to the hashtag button. And I'm going to put in tester 1. And I'm going to select tester 1. I also want to merge. I want to see what I have for tester 2. I believe I called it tester 2. Okay. So now that my 2 hashtags are there, these are the 2 that I want to merge. I'm going to apply the filters to see all my contacts who have come up with just those 2 hashtags. And there they are. Okay, so now what you're going to do, let me close this out here. I want to merge these 2. So let's say I want to take, I don't want to use this one because this already has my double tags in here, but I want to take tester 1 and I want to merge it into tester 2. So I'm going to go back to marketing. I like to look at my contacts first to see what I'm actually merging. I want to see who I'm merging. So I'm going to go back into the hashtag management. I'm going to type in tester 1 here. Oops. I'm going to search for it. And I'm going to click merge hashtag. So hashtag to be merged. I'm going to type in tester 1. And I want to merge it with the hashtag tester 2. And I'm going to hit save here. Merging hashtags will not update on any auto search alerts, smart campaigns, save filters, or scheduled mass emails using these tags. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. So now, if I go back to my smart CRM and I filter back on tester 2, because that's what I merged it into. I'm just searching for the hashtag here. I'm going to select it and I'm going to apply the filters. So now notice both my names are all tester 2. There's no more tester 1s. I've merged them under one hashtag. I decided to take the tester 1 and say, okay, no longer, I want it in the next category, which is my tester 2 category, which might be my warm leads or my hot leads, however I decide to categorize them. I just wanted to show you an example of how to actually merge them. So hashtag management gives you the opportunity to view and edit all the hashtags in your CRM. It also allows you to merge them, mass delete them, the ones that you no longer wish to use. And hashtag management it makes it easier to mass email and text contacts that are assigned to a particular tag and provides the tools necessary to fully manage your hashtags. So I'm just trying to think if there's a, Andrew, I'm sorry, did I forget anything? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I truly apologize. Oh, one of the other things with the label contents, when you're applying hashtags, remember you want to do it based on preference, financial status, or the level. So you might want to put something in like hashtag hot buyer or hashtag cold lead for future communication efforts. You may also wish to use the hashtags property addresses to label any open house leads that you generate, like 123 Main Street. So the OH obviously stands for open house. So one of the other things is your open house app. So here's the tip for today. If you use the myWeichert open house app, all of the content, all of the contacts will automatically have property address hashtags applied when they're synced from the app to your myWeichert Smart CRM for easy filtering. And that's pretty much how you create a hashtag, remove a hashtag, merge a hashtag, mass delete a hashtag. Now, we didn't really go into statusing and creating filter buttons, which we're going to do. These are filter buttons, which we're going to do. We can filter based off of hashtags right from here. I like to go through the filters on the left-hand side. But those hashtags are super, super important because, again, you might have a waterfront property that the contact or the lead is a hot lead. It's somebody that's really looking to buy quickly, has cash, willing to make a deal right away, and you want to be able to find them a house. You want to hashtag them because you can actually search for your buyers through now the playbook section of your dashboard, which we're not going to cover today either, because that's a whole other separate section, which you can go over, which is right here under playbooks up here, or playbooks to the left. You can actually use those hashtags to find buyers within your CRM, as long as you've categorized them correctly. So if you've done a search alert for a buyer before and set up 2 bedrooms, 3 bath, waterfront property with a bulkhead, in-ground pool, you can actually find buyers with a hashtag within your own smart CRM. So that's the basic concept of why we use hashtags. Andrew? Any questions?
If anyone has any other questions from anything, I'm sure some of you have some questions. If you have any, now's the time to ask. We'll answer what we can, right?
Surely.
I don't see anything in the chat box. But if any of you here have anything, you want, to have some questions about myWeichert, just ask, and we'll see if we can answer them for you.
I think that was it, Andrew.
Andrew, Janice, when we were going through the marketing templates and newsletters and what have you, and I know we can scroll down, I'm sure there's a way that we can go in there and look at those marketing messages first, so we're comfortable that we know what the content is and it's something that we feel that we want to send out.
Sure, let me share. I'm going to share my screen. One moment, I'll show you. So to answer that, over here, it's the same way that you would have done it for the recently listed email when we proofed that. If you click on Smart CRM, not smart, you click on marketing, I'm sorry, on the left-hand side, click on marketing. Scroll down to where it says Smart Campaigns, this button right here. I don't want to go into too much detail right now about this, but this is where the templates are located. They're located in the Smart Campaigns. So if you click on Manage Campaigns, that will open up the next page here at the top. There are 3 tabs here. Click on, by default, it starts with the campaign tab. You're going to want to click on the 3rd tab, Templates. That's where the templates are. So if you click on Templates, and again, by default, it's going to open up the email templates. Here's the search button there, and you can type in marketing, right? And then all of those marketing emails, the same ones that we were just seeing, they'll all show up here. They may be in different order. I think these are showing up in a reverse alphabetical order, so I'm going to turn that to go alphabetically. And we're going to look for the ones that say marketing, newsletter. I have to go to the next page. Let's go to some of those newsletters again. myWeichert marketing newsletter, right? So there, one look at any of these. Let's take a look at one that went from April 8th here, right? Do-it-yourself projects to transform your outdoor space. If you wanted to look at them, just to get an idea of what they look like, you click on the clone button on the right. And then that pulls up, pulls up the top here. I'll have the, have the subject of the email. This is what if you were to send out that email, this is what your client, your prospect, this is what they'll see in their email. The template name is how you'll search for it in the drop down. So if you were to make any changes to this actual email here, which I don't recommend that you do, right? For the most part, this is already set up for you, right? But if you were to make any changes to this in the template name here, you probably would want to type in, your first name, and then, you could say like, do it yourself projects. This template name, what you put here, the public does not see that. they don't see this they see this here. So you can name this up here whatever you want. This is simply when you go to search for it, you know how to find it. It's always good form, right, to put it in with your first name, right? And then when you scroll down, this is what the actual template looks like. Right, so it says after months of staying indoors, you know, so this might not be the one to use right now, right? Because this is more spring-like. But if you wanted to, if you're the kind of agent who you're very good with writing copy, if you had an idea, if you like the picture here, you like the different, you know, you like all the different the 6 different ideas below here, you could write your own copy, or you could change all of this. You can edit this, customize it. When you're ready to save it, you would click on the green. I'm not going to do it at the moment here, but you would click on the green clone template button at the bottom here. That just means you're saving it. Usually when you see the green buttons in myWeichert, the green button means save. So in this case, clone template means save. You're saving a copy, your customized copy of the template. Does that answer your question, Janice?
Thank you.
If anybody else has anything else, any other questions? I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, I do, Andrew.
Okay.
I keep getting a notification that I have to renew my core listing, like the automatic listings that get sent.
Yeah, that's something through. That is not from this here. That is through the core listing machine. What you would do in that case is under marketing. If you hover over marketing, the third thing down here, core listing machine, click on that.
All
If
right.
you click on core listing machine, it will look a little different. Yours will look a little bit different. But at the top here, social media, I believe if you click on, so if I click on dashboard, I think it will happen, right? That's where it shows up. No, not dashboard. Setup. Yeah, setup is where it is. If you click on the top there, social media and setup, down here you will see, like, it'll say, but mine's actually probably already expired. I think yours will be saying here needing to refresh, right? Something you could click on this button here, refresh Facebook pages. That's probably what you'll have to do right there. It's a Facebook thing. They make you kind of like it expires, so that's why you're getting that notification. You actually have to go into core listing machine, go into social media and setup, and then over here, this is your Facebook business page right here. And then you're going to refresh your Facebook page. I think for you, you'll probably see it saying a date, like it'll say expiring on a certain date.
Yeah, no, it's actually telling me that on the left-hand side.
It's saying over there, then do it there where it says, does it say refresh, or does it say?
It does not on that side, no.
Disconnect it and then reconnect it.
Yep.
This is more, this core listing machine, this is more for the scope for all of this is for a different workshop, but just to let everyone know, this is really a way for you to have articles and posts automatically uploaded and put onto your social media accounts. So if you wanted like do-it-yourself articles, or posts about current listings, and you want to just have that stuff automatically put into your Facebook pages or into your LinkedIn, right? This is how you would go about doing it through core listing machine.
Okay,
We will definitely go. This
is
a great thing to use, and I have a lot of people asking about this. We'll go over this in much more detail at a different time.
Yeah, it's for some reason, even after reconnecting, it's still saying expires on 8/21/21.
Try to refresh your screen. I know you definitely did do the reconnect, or reach out to your MTS and see if they could
Yeah, I've already
share
done
your
that.
screen
So
with you, and then see if they can take a look into more depth with you for that.
I sure will. Thanks.
I'm going to close that out. If anyone has any other questions regarding hashtags or emails, marketing templates, the profile, anything like that, again, these are all fundamental, basic basic things for myWeichert, but incredibly important to use. That's why we decided to choose those topics. You need to have your profile all set up. You need to have the hashtags and your contacts properly hashtag labeled, and then you need to know what you could do with your very easily what you could do to engage with those contacts and how to do that with the scheduler. If no one has any other questions, I want to thank everyone for showing up. We always enjoy doing these workshops and helping you learn something new each time, or even like in this case, a little bit of a refresher course. I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody,
you,
for
Andrew. Thank
coming.
you, Sharon.
Thanks, Susan. Enjoy, everyone.
Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.